We've crashed out as the holders at the quarter-final stage of the League Cup, losing 4-3 to Tottenham. And I'm absolutely pissed off that we've done that. We've possibly allowed the dirty, rotten Newcastle, who have right abusers, owners, chance to win their first trophy in God knows how long. So I'm going to need help, obviously, from the other teams in the competition to beat Newcastle. Newcastle have got Arsenal over 2 legs. So come on, Arsenal, don't you dare let me down. Oh dear. Could be another bad season. Could have Newcastle doing what they couldn't do since the 50s. And we could have Liverpool doing again what they couldn't do for 30 years previously. Hurts both measures. Absolutely hurting. I thought Amorim got the team selection complete enough to be wrong. That was the first chink in his armoury. I think he shouldn't have started Lindelof. Why? He shouldn't have started Anthony. Why? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. He should have picked Xerxes, should have started. Ahmad should have started. We would have had a chance to get back into the game and go through if Amorim paid attention enough and actually made the decision. He should have made those substitutions right at the stroke of half time. Not 5 minutes before when the second half, into the second half when it resumes. That shouldn't have been the case whatsoever. So he missed a trick there. So I have mixed emotions. We've got so many Deadwood players, it's unbelievable. We should be sponsored by Wood because we've got so many wooden players. These players are not good enough. And I couldn't give a monkey's toss. You know what? I would have rather lost against Man City and won against Spurs tonight. That's what I would have rather. Let's not forget we beat Man City when we had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as our manager. And what did we do after that? Absolutely nothing. You could win a Manchester derby. You know, roles were reversed for years when Man City didn't come into money. You know? And they beat us. You know? So, I am really disappointed about what happened. And we deserved something more. But the team was completely and utterly wrong. And people need to realise that quite quickly. That we need to get rid of these players. Not good enough. You know, people are raving about Agate. One soul doesn't make a summer. Agate still hasn't proven that it was the right decision to get rid of McTominay. Because as it stands, it isn't. You know, we're not going to win the Europa League. You can forget about that. We're not going to win Europa League. And we've got a slight chance of getting top 4, but it's minimal. And we have to hope that we can somehow achieve the unachievable and get points on the board to go up the table. You know? And the players we got on that pitch were disgraceful in the first half. You know, Eriksen, you know, he's past his best, past his sell-by date. We need to get rid of him in January, preferably, because he's not up to it anymore. You know, he nearly died on the football pitch a couple of years ago, playing for his native Denmark, which is a Scandinavian country. So he should just retire gracefully, you know. Second half, you know, Ahmad, Xerxes, you know, we had a spin in my step. I've criticised Xerxes. But to be fair, I thought that was his best performance in a Man United shirt, which probably shows he's good as a sub rather than a starter. I was very impressed. Ahmad's got a great goal, which is very important. Fraser Foster was, you know, had a brain freeze. He didn't know what he was doing. You know? So the second half wasn't much improvement than the first, but I was very disappointed with the first. I thought that was Materazzi's worst ever performance in the Man United shirt. He was diabolical. And actually, he was diabolical in the first half against Man City. Doku roasted him. It was like a spit roast in front of the Sky cameras. He was awful, Materazzi. So he needs to buck his ideas up. I don't want to see that type of performance from him again. And we're out. I'm disappointed we're out. And if Newcastle do what I hope they don't do, then I'll be absolutely sick as a dog, sick to the back teeth of Newcastle and the fucking people, owners like that. If I was in charge of football, I would stop foreign investment. I wouldn't allow that to happen. How about that? Yeah. And so isn't it how Newcastle fans give it the big one, eh? Because that's not, people don't realise this, but let's not. Let's remember the riots in the summer. Newcastle fans, weren't you some of the weren't you Newcastle fans or Newcastle people getting locked up because you were throwing stuff at police and trying to burn, buildings? So how about instead of concentrating on what we're doing, concentrate on what you're doing, yeah? And you'd be better for it. Now I want to talk about Marcus Rashford, and actually I do blame him for our defeat tonight. He is nothing short of a disgrace. I can't stand the guy. His image is all wrong. He's outstayed his welcome. And I'm glad that some of the far top Reds, I will name you, top Red Paddock, I hope you're hurting, and I hope you continue to hurt for the rest of time. It's about time that your special friend Rashford got the silent treatment. It's about time he got criticised. I've criticised Rashford a lot. His antics off the pitch, absolutely ridiculous. Every time he goes on the football pitch, he looks afraid, and he's making the fans in the stadium afraid. His heart's not in it anymore. He's not up to scratch. We need to get rid of him and his toxic personality in January. I don't want to see him in the next squad. I don't want to see him playing for my club again. He's brought the club into disrepute. He knew exactly what he was doing when he gave that interview to Henry Winter. Because the PR team that Rashford's got are always in his bloody corner. If they were giving out medals for PR, he'd win a gold medal. I'm fed up of people like him, and I'm fed up of this club, and I'm fed up of these top Reds, top Red Paddock, the top Reds, plastic stand. They're the problem with this fan base. Say, Rashford shouldn't leave. Rashford should stay. He's not the problem. He's a big problem. He is the problem at Man United Football Club. And you do well to remember that. We used to have standards years ago. We won Premier Leagues. We won European Cups. You don't win league titles with Rashford as your striker. He's garbage. He's awful. He should disintegrate. I don't want him at Man United anymore. And he could go fucking sod off and feed kids in bloody France, in Germany, in Italy, in Spain. Feed them bloody kids. And if there's criminality by migrants, you can fucking, actually look at the problem instead of having a go at British men, have a go at foreign men who are committing crimes every single flipping day. Especially in London. There's a rape in London every single bloody hour. Right? You've got loads of people who are having their bags snatched, their mobile phones snatched. That sort of thing. Maybe Rashford should concentrate on that. Instead of poking his nose and accusing men, every single men, because of what happened with Seb Everard. And do you know what happened to Seb Everard? I'll tell you. Right? It was a female police officer. She knew exactly what Wayne Couzens did and his antics. And she is a disgrace as well. So Rashford, poke your nose in somebody else's business. That's what you should do. All the guy cares about is himself. He is selfish. He doesn't know the world around him. He does nothing for me. He thinks he's better than what he is. He's pompous. He thinks he deserves a living. Well, you don't. You're stealing a living at my football club, and I want you gone. And if you far top Reds love him, you can fuck off with him. Because you're not wanted either.